Sumerian is the oldest written language. It's not related to any of the Indo-European or Semitic languages.
For thousands of years, ancient civilizations have left behind stories of mysterious beings who descended from the heavens, shared knowledge with humanity, and promised to return one day. Most historians dismiss these accounts as mythology, but a controversial discovery has revived the debate. In 2019, researchers reportedly translated a clay tablet that had remained sealed for nearly 4,000 years inside the British Museum. Using advanced imaging technology, they uncovered a text describing a celestial cycle, the Anunnaki, and a future astronomical alignment linked to their return. Could this ancient tablet be warning humanity about something that is supposed to happen in 2029? The civilization that appeared out of nowhere. The story begins in ancient Mesopotamia, the region often called the cradle of civilization. Around 4500 BCE, a remarkable culture emerged between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. Known today as the Sumerians, they possessed achievements that seemed far ahead of their time. They developed writing, mathematics, engineering, astronomy, law, and some of the first large urban centers ever constructed. What puzzled historians was how suddenly this civilization appeared. Most cultures evolve gradually over thousands of years. Sumer, however, seems to emerge with sophisticated knowledge already in place. Massive cities such as Uruk, Eridu, and Nippur appeared alongside advanced irrigation systems, monumental temples, and detailed astronomical observations. The Sumerians themselves offered an explanation. According to countless cuneiform tablets, their knowledge came from beings called the Anunnaki. For generations, scholars classified these accounts as mythology. Ancient cultures frequently attributed their achievements to gods, spirits, and divine beings. Therefore, the Anunnaki were generally viewed as religious figures rather than historical entities. Yet some researchers argue that Sumerian descriptions differ from traditional mythology. Rather than depicting supernatural gods performing magical acts, many texts describe physical beings who arrived, taught agriculture, established laws, organized cities, and guided civilization itself. The newly translated sealed tablet reportedly follows this same pattern. According to those involved in the translation, the Anunnaki are not described as symbolic deities. Instead, they appear as real visitors connected to a repeating astronomical cycle. And that is where the mystery becomes far more unsettling. The star chart that points to 2029. The most controversial part of the tablet concerns astronomy. Researchers reportedly discovered detailed references to a rare planetary alignment involving Jupiter, Saturn, Mars, Venus, and the Pleiades star cluster. Initially, the alignment appeared to reference an event from the distant past. However, when astronomers reconstructed the sky using modern software, they allegedly found something unexpected. The configuration matched a period around 3100 BCE. This date immediately caught attention because it coincides closely with the emergence of early Sumerian civilization. But there was another surprise. The same celestial alignment is projected to occur again in 2029. According to reports, the tablet repeatedly refers to this event as a return cycle. The wording does not resemble a prophecy or religious vision. Instead, it reads more like a schedule or a set of instructions tied to a specific astronomical event. Supporters of the Anunnaki theory believe this suggests the alignment acts as a marker, indicating when the beings are expected to return. Skeptics argue that ancient texts often contain symbolic astronomical references and that modern interpretations may be reading too much into the language. Yet one detail continues to attract attention. A footnote allegedly written by the lead translator stated that the astronomical calculations embedded within the text appeared far more precise than historians would normally expect from a civilization of that era. Whether this observation represents a genuine anomaly or simply an overstatement remains debated. but it is one of the reasons the tablet continues to generate fascination today. What makes the mystery even more intriguing is that the tablet does not present the alignment as a random event. Instead, it treats it as a predictable milestone within a much larger cycle. If the translation is accurate, the Sumerians may have believed that certain events unfold according to a cosmic timetable, one that is now approaching its next scheduled point. The Watchers who arrive first. Perhaps the strangest portion of the tablet describes entities referred to as Watchers. According, they do not arrive publicly. Instead, they move quietly among humanity, observing and preparing for what comes next. The language reportedly becomes highly procedural. They identify individuals carrying what the text calls old blood. This phrase has generated enormous speculation. The tablet offers little clarification. However, it presents the Watchers as scouts rather than rulers. The text then shifts toward descriptions of global instability. Supporters of the theory point toward modern earthquakes, volcanic activity, rising sea levels, and pandemics as possible parallels. According to believers, this sequence transforms the tablet from a simple mythological account rather than predicting a sudden arrival, and increasing signs that humanity may be approaching a critical moment in its history. Nibiru and the coming alignment. No discussion of the Anunnaki can avoid the mysterious world known as Nibiru. Nibiru is the homeworld of the Anunnaki. The sealed tablet allegedly references this celestial body several times. As Nibiru approaches, the tablet claims humanity will witness strange atmospheric phenomena. The skies may appear different. Magnetic disturbances may increase. Supporters believe these descriptions represent evidence of an approaching planetary body. Skeptics strongly disagree. However, the debate intensified in 2016 when researchers at the California Institute of Technology presented evidence suggesting a massive undiscovered planet may exist beyond Neptune. Known as Planet 9, the proposed object reignited public interest in hidden worlds at the edge of our solar system. Importantly, the scientists involved explicitly stated that Planet 9 was not Nibiru. Whether Nibiru exists or not, the tablet presents it as the central mechanism driving the return cycle. Without Nibiru, the schedule described by the text cannot function. With Nibiru, every event falls into place. Humanity's final evaluation. The final portion of the tablet may be the most disturbing. According to the translation, the return is not merely a visit. The text allegedly outlines two criteria by which humanity will be judged. The first is technological advancement. Have humans achieved space travel? Have they expanded their knowledge beyond their home world? By modern standards, the answer appears to be yes. The second criterion is moral development. Have humans overcome war? Have they learned cooperation? Have they stopped damaging their environment? This question is considerably more difficult to answer. According to the tablet, humanity faces two possible outcomes. The first is described as ascension. The second possibility is cleansing. The word appears repeatedly throughout the translation. Some interpret it as a global catastrophe. Others believe it refers to the collapse of political and social systems rather than physical destruction. The tablet never fully explains what cleansing means. One final passage adds another layer of mystery. Written in what appears to be a different handwriting, the closing lines describe 3 visitors arriving during the reign of King Ur-Nammu. After examining records and observing local conditions, they reportedly left behind a simple statement. The cycle continues. We are not forgotten. Then the text ends. No explanation, no warning, no conclusion. Today, mainstream historians remain skeptical of claims surrounding the Anunnaki, Nibiru, and the alleged 2029 return cycle. Yet the mystery refuses to disappear. An ancient tablet, sealed for thousands of years, was it merely mythology, a misunderstood historical record, or a message intended for our own era? Perhaps the answer will remain hidden forever, or perhaps 2029 will reveal whether the Sumerians were preserving a legend. If you enjoyed this investigation, subscribe to the channel and explore more ancient mysteries, lost civilizations, and forbidden discoveries in our other videos.